Hey everyone, Pastor George here, and today I'm going to be reviewing an HBO show that came out a few years ago, but the second season just came out, and I just got into it over the past week. And this show is The Righteous Gemstones. I'm going to play a little bit of the trailer for you right now.
Dear God, today is going to be big. The most watched daytime service of the year, over 6 million worldwide.
If I were the king of the world.
Welcome home, Dr. Gemstone.
Your whole ministry is set up to serve the gemstones.
You should be ashamed of yourself. Well, I ain't. Praise be to He.
All right, as you guys saw, this is a story about a church, right? It's a show about a mega church in the South. And in some ways, it's a love letter to Southern church culture and mega churches and stuff like that. But when I first saw that trailer, I thought, oh man, this is going to be like bad because it's going to be like really cynical because we're already, many of us, cynical about megachurch culture in general, right? And when you think about lots of people having money and stuff like that, it's just it gets you feeling uneasy, right? And it's so easy to make fun of that stuff or to be cynical about it. Like I thought, for instance, that none of these characters would actually believe in God and that they kind of just do it as a prank, or not as a prank, but as a grift, right? So like they'd preach something and they go behind, they'd be like, I can't believe anyone believes that, right? But that's actually not the case. It actually has a really interesting Christian message in it. Would I consider the show a Christian show? Not necessarily, but certainly really informed by Southern Christian ideals and culture and stuff like that in a way that it is a critique but also a love letter, because the writer of the show and the director in some episodes, Danny McBride, who's done Vice Principals and Eastbound and Down, I grew up going to church. I watched an interview with him where he talks about how that actually really influenced his wanting to get into writing because he helped his mom with the puppet ministries and they would write the puppet things and stuff like that. And so that's what kind of got him started in those. This is kind of like his return to his roots in some ways, right? Now it is an HBO show, so that comes with some asterisks as to who can watch this, right? It's at 10 p.m. at night if you don't have HBO Go, and so you can guess that there is both cursing and nudity in this show. The nudity is comedic. It's not really done for sexual reasons, but it is still there. You know yourself better than I do, so you can determine if you should watch it or not. I thought it was really funny, and I ultimately found it to be really heartwarming, because ultimately it is a Christian story because it kind of takes you at the end of the family's ministry or where they are now, right? Where it's super successful and everything like that. But you kind of get a glimpse in their pasts and stuff like that as chickens come home to roost that, maybe they're kind of a victim of their own success and they've kind of lost the kernel of the gospel and stuff like that. And that kind of has this beautiful thing that happens at the end. I don't want to spoil anything, but it is really this cool thing, and there are funny moments for church things. I mean, in the first episode, the family is building a new church, a new campus in this new town near them, right, near their big mega church, and a bunch of pastors from that town where they're building the campus come and basically ask them not to build it because they're worried it's going to destroy their congregations, right? And they have this exchange with the head, the patriarch, played by John Goodman, who is wonderful, about like, don't do it. And it's like, because it already has 4 churches, and they're like, and all of our churches are modestly sized. My church is 2,000 people, his church is 1,700, his is 1,200, and he just started 2 years ago, and his is 700. And I'm going, those are modest size churches, I think that's part of the Southern culture surrounding church and stuff like that. So it's just really interesting to see that kind of be depicted. But it is ultimately, it's a comedy, but it really does have a heart to it, which I wasn't expecting, or I didn't think they were going to portray it as kindly as they did. Not that they don't take a lot of shots, because they take plenty of them, but it ends up being more of a heartwarming story than one that kind of ends really sadly in anti-Christianity. So I would say if you can handle that type of stuff, check it out. It's pretty funny. I'll probably use some of the clips of it for future classes or something, because I really think it has some interesting scenes that play out. All right, you guys have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. I will see you tomorrow for our Bible study recap. I hope you have a good one. Peace out.